white horse, Billy, cleared sufficient room for Bolton to beat West Ham by 2-0. Wembley and cup finals go together. Always exciting, the excitement sometimes comes from outside. In 1930, the huge Graf Zeppelin, like some sinister portent of the years to come, cast its shadow over the arena. More excitement in 1932, when King George V was witness to one of the greatest dramas of the game. Was it over? Wasn't it? The camera said yes, but the referee said no, and Newcastle went on to score the vital goal, which is still a major talking point. By now, the Empire Pool had been opened by the Duke of Gloucester, who was saluted by teams of divers demonstrating their skill in this fabulous new sports building. Ice spectaculars made their debut, fantastic shows that are now bigger, better and more popular than ever, while world champion skaters took advantage of the perfect surface to show off their skills. Maybe the surface got cut up a bit during the ice hockey matches, but the Wembley Lions will long be remembered in this fantastically fast game. Still in the pool, table tennis makes its mark. Wembley was a pioneer of greyhound racing, and speedway riders vied with the greyhounds in attracting capacity crowds. How peaceful to join King George VI and the royal family in the demonstrations presented by the Women's League of Health and Beauty. Physical expression to physical jerks, and with the coming of war, Wembley played its part in the national effort. Cup finals continued, but with restrictions on the number of spectators. Players like Dennis Compton, sergeant to you, changed their uniform for football gear, as did Sergeant Major Don Welsh for Charlton. Quite a game, and if spectators were restricted, goals weren't. Arsenal allowed Charlton just 1, while scoring 7 themselves. When the Americans became involved in the war, Wembley took our new allies to her heart, and with her usual hospitality, invited them to show off their national games. Baseball, for one. And then American football. Football, it's more like a cross between Rugger, the Eton Wall game without the wall, and the Battle of Gettysburg. With the hostilities over, German prisoners of war joined in the preparations for the Olympic Games. The years of peace were heralded in by the magnificent spectacle of the first post-war Olympics, and symbolized by the lighting of the eternal flame. Men and women of all nations competing in friendly rivalry, with, in those days, no political backgrounds to mar the scene. Great characters like Zatopek breaking the 30-minute barrier in the 10,000 meters. And Fanny Blancas-Koen just beating our Maureen Gardner in the hurdles. She went on to win 4 goals for the Netherlands. What an effort. The Rugby League final has always been a favourite. Apart from being the climax to a great competition, it gives the lads from the north a chance to get away from it all and have a ball in the big city. Every year, amateur soccer teams from all over the country fight for the glory of playing for their cup at Wembley. Here, Woking beat Ilford 1-0, but it doesn't mean that the northern clubs hadn't given of their best to be represented. In contrast to the boisterous shouts of the football fans, the quiet, peaceful Catholic centenary shows Wembley in one of its more dignified moods. A mood reflected in the family rosary reunion.
I'm going to ask you to get up out of your seats and come down on this cinder track all the way around and stand...
Billy Graham demonstrated religious revival in its most fervent form. The green grass carpet of the arena made a moving background to those who answered his call. And the pool formed the background to the beauty of mass exercise at the Festival of Movement. A demonstration of grace and charm that was somehow mirrored at the Horse of the Year show. The English weather was as good an excuse as any to stay at the pool and watch the indoor athletics. It's ideal too for badminton, and long rallies featured while the Danes fought for the All-England title. Dancing too. There seems no limit to Wembley's activities. The ever-popular Harlem Globetrotters, always great favourites, and a cert winner for the spectators. Human energy in another form. The marathon 6-day cycle races found Wembley ideal for this grueling feat of endurance. Although the pool staged its own boxing tournaments, it was in the main arena that some of the greatest fights took place. The defeat of Sugar Ray Robinson by Terry Downs was one of these classic bouts. The tenseness and concentration of the fight is suddenly dispelled by the flippant act of Freddie and the Dreamers at one of the great pop shows. Short shorts, reflected in football's modern image. The World Cup Series of 1966 was a triumph, not only for the stadium, but for England with her great win over Germany. Two extra-time goals for victory. What a day for England. What a day for Wembley. Then a new venture, the International Horse Show. Not in the pool, but on the sacred grass of the main arena. It's no wonder that with so much activity, Wembley's magnificent turf gave up the ghost. The bulldozers came in, and it was savagely torn up to the despair of heartbroken groundsmen. Soon it was back to normal, and the Irish crossed the sea to bash the living daylights out of each other at Hurley. The Speedway roared on with the World Championships. And amid great excitement and enthusiasm, the Girl Guides held their jubilee. There was a new invasion when the Women's International Hockey Final was played and brought with it an unexpected avalanche of spectators. And as if that wasn't enough, professional tennis. Such a bewildering assortment. It's almost a relief to get back to football. As the first 50 years drew to a close, it was almost coincidental that the 1972 Cup final should have been the centenary one. Great match, an historical one with Leeds just getting the honours by a single goal. So much achieved, so much to come. Everyone congratulates Wembley on its past and wishes it well as it sets out on the next 50 years with the Cup final of 1973.